In 2020, the Sitka Conservation Society stepped up to help our community tackle challenges old and new.
Last spring, we pivoted our programs to address community needs resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. We adapted our programming while continuing our work to defend the Tongass and support the sustainable communities here in Southeast Alaska. Here are some of the projects we were able to accomplish together.
In 2020, SCS staff, volunteers, and partners traveled to 2 wilderness areas in partnership with the U.S. Forest Service. Protecting the Tongass has always been a core part of our mission at SCS, beginning with our founders advocating for the designation of the West Chichagof-Yakobi Wilderness. In the West Chichagof Wilderness, a team of kayakers documented the natural environment of the area, as well as conducting wilderness solitude monitoring in partnership with the U.S. Forest Service. 2 teams also recorded their encounters on sailing trips in the Pleasant, Lemongeur, and Indian Islands wilderness of Icy Strait. When our founders worked to protect this land, they had future generations in mind, and we are continuously striving to provide next generations with the same opportunities to experience the wilderness areas of Southeast Alaska. Maintaining our partnership with the Forest Service is valuable to SCS, and we are happy to have been able to record and submit hundreds of hours in the 2020 field season.
In a year of profound challenges that further exposed many long-standing inequities, Sitkans found ways to show up for each other and practice community care. In the early days of the pandemic, SCS launched the Sitka Mutual Aid Network, building on examples from across the country to connect individuals in need of assistance with individuals able to help. This network and its many participants provided over $70,000 in direct food assistance to Sitka households in the form of grocery gift cards, grocery deliveries, and hot meals prepared by Our Town Catering and Beak. We also helped distribute hundreds of free Farmers to Families food boxes and partnered with the Alaska Longline Fishermen's Association to enroll folks in a seafood donation program, improving access to nourishing local fish. During the summer, we focused on feeding Sitka's youth through the Sitka Breakfast Program led by Sitka Public Library and through the USDA Summer Food Service Program in partnership with Kids Cupboard, Sitka Tribe of Alaska, Youth Advocates of Sitka, and Sitka Legacy Foundation. This collaboration served over 39,000 free meals to Sitka's kids, created jobs and youth training opportunities, and provided revenue for local businesses and organizations. Food security is foundational to sustainability. SCS is an organization that stands up with our partners and members to help care for the entire intricate web of life on the Tongass, our neighbors included.
In 2020, SCS helped hundreds of citizens, both here in Southeast Alaska and across the nation, advocate for environmental protections, sustainable economic development, traditional and cultural uses, and co-management for the Tongass National Forest. While our political representation failed to listen to the multitude of local voices that spoke out in favor of keeping the roadless rule on the Tongass, your advocacy efforts led to a national spotlight on the forest that we call home and the communities, businesses, and tribes that support and depend on these protections. We are especially grateful to the many tribes in Southeast Alaska whose concerns and input were repeatedly disregarded during the rulemaking process that then petitioned for a traditional homelands conservation rule to protect their traditional territories and cultural values. We work to amplify and promote the tribe's concerns to members of Congress and agency leadership while digging into the work on the ground by hosting interns and participation with the First Alaskans Institute to investigate and document the cultural value of cedar trees. In 2021, we are excited to learn what a Biden administration means for action on climate change, restoration of roadless protections, and increasing equity in forest management approaches on the Tongass, as well as working closely with our partners in the Sustainable Southeast Partnership to chart a new path forward for the region.
The Sitka Spruce Tips 4-H Club, started 9 years ago in Sitka by SCS, empowers local youth by connecting them with their community and their environment. Unlike more traditional 4-H clubs, Sitka 4-H focuses on fostering an understanding and appreciation for the Tongass. Whether foraging in the muskeg, processing deer or fish, or learning about and understanding Tlingit values through story and activities, the 4-H pledge is reinforced through our Sitka programming. This past year, 4-Hers learned to cook many different local foods over Zoom, including salmon, venison, mushrooms, seaweed, and a variety of berries. We also discussed the importance of eating locally and taking care of our neighborhood to make sure we can continue doing these activities in the future.
SCS worked with youth interns along with Youth for Sustainable Futures, a motivated group of students from all 3 Sitka high schools to advocate for climate action from elected leaders. They catalyzed local action by testifying in support of the Sitka Assembly, declaring a climate change emergency, and reestablishing a task force. The Assembly passed the resolution and specified that youth voices would have a place on the task force this November.
Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Tomes. I'm the director of the Sitka Conservation Society. I'm on Thimbleberry Lake at the Listening Place. This is a yellow cedar bench that we put up in honor of Richard Nelson. This is a project of the Living Wilderness Fund, which was created to honor the founders of SCS and people like Nels who have done so much to protect the Tongass. In this project, we tried to exemplify our values as an organization in action. The yellow cedar tree was a standing dead tree that we got from the woods very close to here, and we used a chainsaw mill to mill it up with local carpenter Zach LePerriere, and we fashioned it into this bench, and then we set it up with a transitional employment program that we did together with the city of Sitka. This bench is here for a space for us to connect with the natural environment and listen to the world around us like Nels taught us to do.
In addition to the Listening Place bench, the SCS-led Community Conservation Corps designed, built, and improved assets in and around Sitka. In partnership with the City of Sitka and other local organizations, this CARES Act-funded economic relief program provided jobs to unemployed, underemployed, and furloughed workers and contractors affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Some of the projects accomplished include improving the Goddard Hot Springs water systems, revegetating the Cross Trail and adding mile markers, renovating the Tom Young cabin and outhouse, and supporting the maintenance of historical cemeteries in Sitka. This program advanced our belief that building and caring for treasured public spaces are important parts of being a community-driven organization.
This summer, we were fortunate to host some very special guests at the Phonograph Creek property bequeathed to us by Eric and Pam Beeler. We are honored to have the responsibility of putting this place to use while stewarding the lands and the waters of the surrounding wilderness. With the help of a variety of collaborators, we were able to host our first pilot creative retreat. Our intention is to not only connect people to the majesty of the Tongass, but also to inspire their creativity. To pull this off during COVID was no easy feat, and I wish to express tremendous gratitude to all who helped move this project along. We look forward to continuing to create more collaborative and creative projects to share the magic and the majesty of this beautiful spot. This first group was so impacted by their experience, they quickly went to work on behalf of the forest and our vital salmon habitat. Upon their return from this journey, the decision was released to remove roadless protections from the Tongass. They immediately mobilized to create a short video to help encourage others to take action. This work is a prayer that the transformative power of the wilderness can be shared and ripple outward to inspire others to feel compelled to protect this place. Part of the power of Eric's work was to do just that. In that spirit, it is appropriate to do this work on behalf of the West Chichagof Wilderness, the home of Eric and Pam Beeler, and to protect the place that they so loved.
All of us at SCS are proud of what we were able to do with our partners, with our volunteers and supporters, despite the endless barrage of obstacles and uncertainty. We are incredibly grateful for the continued support of our membership, people like you who believe deeply in their hearts that the communities, lands, waters, and wildlife of Southeast Alaska are special and worth caring for. Whether you donated to the Sitka Conservation Society or the Sitka Mutual Aid Network, participated in one of our programs, showed up to volunteer time to help with our food distributions, became a 4-H leader, or made your voice heard through advocacy efforts, maybe you're tuning in for the first time. Whatever it is, thank you so much, and we look forward to working with you for many years to come.